Did you know that some of the most common foods you reheat can silently damage your pancreas and even cause cancer? It sounds shocking, but doctors are now warning that certain foods, when reheated the wrong way, undergo chemical changes that turn them toxic to your body. Especially for people over 70, whose metabolism and organs are already more sensitive, these simple reheating habits can be far more dangerous than most realize. The pancreas, often overlooked, plays a critical role in your digestion and blood sugar regulation. When it's under constant stress from poor eating habits or harmful food compounds, it becomes inflamed, exhausted, and vulnerable to long-term damage. Over time, this can lead to problems like pancreatitis, insulin resistance, and even pancreatic cancer, the kind of illness that often develops quietly without symptoms until it's too late. In this video, we'll talk about 5 common foods that doctors say should never be reheated, especially for older adults. These are foods that may seem harmless, but when reheated, they release harmful substances that can strain your organs and quietly increase your cancer risk over time. Let's start with the first one. Number 1, reheated oils, the pancreas' invisible enemy. Of all the foods you should never reheat, those cooked in oil are the most dangerous. Whether it's fried chicken, sautéed vegetables, or leftover French fries, reheating oil-based foods triggers a chemical transformation that releases compounds directly toxic to your pancreas. When oil is first heated, it begins to oxidize, and with every reheating, that oxidation deepens. This process produces aldehydes and free radicals, highly reactive molecules that damage cells, inflame tissues, and disrupt your body's natural detoxification systems. Your pancreas, which is responsible for producing insulin and digestive enzymes, is particularly sensitive to these toxins. When aldehydes enter your bloodstream, they attack the membranes of pancreatic cells, making them less efficient at regulating blood sugar and digesting fats. Over time, this leads to chronic inflammation, a silent but dangerous condition that doctors believe can pave the way to pancreatic cancer. You might notice the signs of this damage in subtle ways: bloating after meals, fatigue after eating, or a dull ache in the upper abdomen. These are all early warnings that your digestive system is struggling. Unfortunately, most people ignore them, not realizing that each reheated meal cooked in oil is adding a bit more stress to the body's most delicate organs. The type of oil you use also matters. Vegetable oils like canola, sunflower, or soybean break down more easily than olive or avocado oil. Once they're reheated, they lose their healthy fats and instead produce compounds that irritate your stomach and pancreas. For seniors, whose antioxidant defenses are already lower, this oxidative stress accumulates quickly. Doctors emphasize that these simple choices can dramatically reduce inflammation in the pancreas and liver. By avoiding reheated oils, you give your body the chance to heal and restore its natural balance. Every time you choose fresh, lightly cooked meals over reheated greasy leftovers, you're helping your pancreas breathe a little easier and protecting it from one of its greatest hidden enemies. Number 2, reheated spinach, the nitrate to nitrite danger. Spinach is one of the healthiest vegetables you can eat, fresh. But when it's reheated, it becomes one of the most dangerous. Spinach naturally contains nitrates, compounds that are perfectly safe and even beneficial when eaten raw or freshly cooked. However, once cooked and stored, these nitrates begin to transform. If the spinach is left out too long or reheated later, bacteria and temperature changes can convert those nitrates into nitrites and further into nitrosamines, which are known carcinogens that have been linked to pancreatic and stomach cancers. Doctors who study food safety often emphasize that spinach should never be reheated once it's cooled. Instead, it should be eaten immediately after cooking or consumed cold in a salad. If you need to store it, refrigerate it within an hour and eat it the next day without reheating. By doing this, you preserve its rich nutrients like iron, magnesium, and folate without inviting harmful compounds to form. One important thing to remember is that this nitrate issue isn't limited to spinach alone. It also applies to other leafy greens, such as kale, lettuce, and celery when reheated. But spinach is particularly sensitive because of its high nitrate concentration. Many seniors who are trying to eat healthily end up doing the exact opposite, reheating leftover spinach soup or sautéed greens, thinking they're nourishing their bodies. If you've ever noticed your stomach feeling uneasy after reheating spinach or your energy dipping unexpectedly, that's your body sending you a warning. The pancreas is incredibly sensitive to chemical imbalances, and over time, small choices like this can have big effects. Protecting it means being mindful, even with the healthiest foods. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3, reheated rice, the silent bacteria breeder. Rice is a staple food in many homes, but it's also one of the most misunderstood when it comes to food safety. When rice is cooked, tiny spores from a bacterium called Bacillus cereus can survive the heat. If the rice is left out at room temperature, those spores quickly multiply and release toxins that reheating cannot destroy. For seniors with more delicate digestive systems and slower liver function, these toxins can be particularly dangerous, leading to nausea, vomiting, and, over time, a buildup of inflammation in the pancreas. The pancreas is not only affected by sugar or fat, it's also strained by toxins that circulate through the bloodstream. When reheated rice is consumed regularly, the toxins produced by bacteria can trigger a low-grade immune response. This chronic stress can gradually weaken pancreatic tissue, increasing the risk of insulin dysfunction and even cancerous changes. What makes this worse is that most people don't notice anything wrong. The rice smells fine, looks fine, and even tastes normal, but the invisible bacterial toxins remain. Older adults are especially vulnerable because their stomach acid tends to weaken with age, making it harder to kill harmful bacteria before they reach the intestines. Once inside the body, the toxins from Bacillus cereus can cause oxidative stress that damages not only digestive cells but also the pancreas itself. Doctors often see patients with recurring stomach upset who never realize their reheating habits are to blame. The best way to avoid this is simple but strict. Cook rice fresh whenever possible, and if you must store leftovers, refrigerate them within 1 hour of cooking. When reheating, make sure the rice is piping hot throughout, not just warm on top. Never reheat rice more than once, and never let it sit at room temperature overnight. A single lapse in these habits can be enough for bacteria to multiply to dangerous levels. Some seniors prefer to freeze leftover rice in small portions. That's a safer option, as freezing halts bacterial growth. When you're ready to eat, thaw and reheat it thoroughly in a pan, not the microwave, where uneven heating often leaves cold spots for bacteria to survive. Many people underestimate how easily these spores spread. The kitchen counter, spoon, or even your hands can transfer them from one batch of rice to another. And when the pancreas is already working harder with age, even small toxic burdens can tip the scale toward inflammation and fatigue. Your goal isn't to fear food, it's to respect it. Treat rice as a fresh dish, not a leftover convenience. Each time you choose fresh over reheated, you're giving your pancreas a small but powerful act of kindness, reducing its workload and helping your body stay clean, balanced, and strong. Number 4, reheated chicken, the protein breakdown hazard. Chicken is one of the most common leftovers, but it's also one of the most dangerous foods to reheat, especially for seniors. The reason lies in how its proteins behave when reheated. When chicken is first cooked, its proteins are stable and easy for your body to digest. But when you cool and reheat it, the structure of those proteins changes. They become denser, tougher, and more difficult for your stomach and pancreas to break down. This forces your pancreas to release more digestive enzymes, overworking an organ that is already sensitive with age. Beyond that, reheating chicken can also create uneven temperatures that allow bacteria like Salmonella and Campylobacter to survive. Even if you think your chicken looks and smells fine, the bacteria can multiply during cooling and storage. And if reheated improperly, especially in a microwave, where hot spots and cold patches form, the bacteria can remain alive. For younger people, this might cause mild food poisoning, but for seniors, it can cause inflammation throughout the digestive system and place an enormous strain on the pancreas and liver. When chicken proteins are repeatedly exposed to heat, they also begin to oxidize, forming harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These AGEs circulate through the bloodstream and trigger oxidative stress in your cells. Over time, they contribute to tissue damage, chronic inflammation, and organ fatigue. Studies have linked high levels of AGEs to a greater risk of pancreatic dysfunction and several cancers. If you've ever reheated chicken and noticed a slightly rubbery texture or an off taste, that's your cue. It's not just dry, it's chemically altered. Your body has to work much harder to process it, which is exactly what older adults should avoid. To keep your meals safe, cook only the portion you plan to eat. If you do have leftovers, refrigerate them within an hour. And when reheating, make sure the temperature reaches evenly throughout, preferably by using a skillet or oven rather than a microwave. Even better, slice the chicken into smaller pieces before reheating to reduce uneven heating. Doctors also warn against reheating fried or grilled chicken, since the oils used in cooking can oxidize upon reheating, releasing free radicals that further harm the pancreas. Each reheated meal may not cause immediate illness, but over time, those small toxic exposures add up. The pancreas, much like the heart, can endure only so much silent strain before showing signs of damage. Eating freshly cooked chicken gives your body clean protein, gentle digestion, and less stress on your vital organs. But reheating it, especially multiple times, turns what was once nourishing into something your body has to defend itself against. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, reheated potatoes, the hidden toxin trap. Potatoes may seem completely harmless, even comforting, but once cooked and cooled, they begin to change at a molecular level. When you reheat them, especially in a microwave, the starch inside breaks down into compounds that can upset your digestive system and, over time, place stress on your pancreas. This happens because reheating causes resistant starch to convert into sugars that rapidly spike blood glucose. For older adults whose insulin sensitivity naturally decreases with age, this repeated spike is dangerous. It forces the pancreas to overwork, increasing the risk of chronic inflammation and eventually cancerous cell growth. What's more concerning is that these sugars can caramelize unevenly when reheated, leading to the formation of a harmful substance known as acrylamide. Studies have shown that acrylamide, a byproduct of overheating starchy foods, has been linked to DNA damage and carcinogenic effects, particularly in the pancreas. Even a few reheated servings a week over time can contribute to cumulative cellular stress. The danger isn't in the potato itself, but in how it's handled. Many seniors cook a batch, let it cool on the counter, and then reheat portions over the next few days. But once potatoes are left at room temperature for more than 2 hours, bacteria like Clostridium botulinum can begin to grow. Reheating doesn't always kill these spores, especially if the food isn't heated, evenly creating a double threat toxins from bacteria and compounds from chemical breakdown. If you love potatoes, don't worry, you don't need to give them up entirely. The key is in how you cook and store them. Always refrigerate cooked potatoes within an hour, and when you reheat them, make sure they're heated thoroughly, not just warmed. Even better, try eating them cold as part of a salad, where their starch remains resistant and supports healthy digestion instead of spiking your blood sugar. Your pancreas, delicate and hardworking, functions best when your blood sugar remains steady. Reheating potatoes the wrong way can quietly sabotage that balance. And when you're over 70, that kind of hidden strain is exactly what your body doesn't need. Each time you reach for leftover potatoes, ask yourself, is this small convenience worth the silent damage it could cause? For long-term health and vitality, it rarely is. Final thoughts. As we grow older, small daily habits become the difference between nourishing our bodies and unknowingly harming them. Reheating food may seem like an innocent shortcut, but for seniors, it can carry consequences far beyond an upset stomach. The pancreas, one of the body's most sensitive and hardworking organs, thrives on clean, fresh nourishment. Yet it suffers quietly when we reheat foods that alter proteins, release toxins, or foster hidden bacteria. The truth is, our bodies at 60, 70, or 80 don't process stress, physical or chemical, the same way they once did. Every time we eat reheated oil, rice, or meat, we ask our organs to work a little harder, to fight a little more, and to recover a little slower. But the good news is that the opposite is also true each time we choose a freshly cooked meal. Avoid reheating or store our food properly. We give our body the support it needs to heal and stay strong. What matters most is not perfection, but awareness. When you know what your body needs, you naturally make choices that serve your health and extend your vitality. So the next time you're about to microwave that leftover chicken or refry yesterday's meal, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this convenience worth the silent cost to my body? Most of the time, the answer will guide you towards something fresher, simpler, and kinder to your health. Your body has worked tirelessly for decades. It deserves respect, care, and patience. Protecting your pancreas isn't about restriction. It's about giving yourself the best chance at more energetic mornings, clearer thinking, and longer, healthier years. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to